So we figured we might as well start making our own ketchup. And so today we are sharing a recipe for ketchup with you. It's going to consist of canned tomatoes. We use 3 cans of tomatoes. We're going to then use a can of tomato paste as well. Now, we're making this ketchup in a pressure cooker. What's exciting about that is we're going to be able to concentrate all the flavors in the pressure cooker. It'll simmer at it, and really all the flavors will develop in a confined environment, and we're not going to lose a lot of the aromatics and flavor compounds that are in the tomatoes and the ingredients we're putting in here. So it's exciting in that sense for us as well. So we've got the 3 cans of tomato in there. It's then a can of tomato paste. So we use tomato paste as a concentrated essence of tomatoes to kind of bolster flavor. We're also going to use sun-dried tomatoes in our ketchup base. We've got sun-dried tomatoes in our own homemade vinegar. I suppose if you want to really take it to the extreme, you make your own vinegar as well. And we have a nice red wine vinegar, or even a balsamic vinegar will work well. So we've got the sun-dried tomatoes in there. Then we've got an aromatic blend of ingredients. We've got anchovies, we've got soy sauce, we have capers and their brine. We've got our spices, which are allspice, we've got juniper, we've got cardamom. We also have a little bit of cumin, cayenne, and smoked paprika. That all goes in. We're going to pressure cook it for an hour on high pressure. Now we're going to add the last few ingredients, which are onions, ginger, jalapeno, and garlic, which we've put under the broiler to char to give a richer flavor to them, and then the whole ketchup base as well. And that goes in here as well. And it's about equal parts, roughly, garlic, jalapeno, and ginger. And then we add about 3 times that amount of onion. We've got our canned tomatoes, we have our tomato paste, we've got the aromatics in the herbs and spices and cured products like anchovies and capers. And then we've got the charred vegetables, the jalapeno, ginger, garlic, and onion, which is going to really add flavor and depth to the ketchup itself. So now we've got the lid. Slide it in place, locks in. Hit the menu twice to get on high pressure. Time, we're going to go for an hour. Time set, lid's on. We'll be back in an hour. And so you can see, the hour is just about up. We will let the timer finish up. Once the last minute ticks off, which it has, I'm now just going to hit the off button and let the pressure cooker cool down naturally. That'll take another 20 minutes or so. We'll be back. Well, we've waited. The pressure has released in the pressure cooker. We can now open it up and see the wonderful tomato base inside, which is going to eventually become our ketchup. Here I am in the process of pureeing up the ketchup base. You can see the base is coming out of the pressure cooker. It's then going into the blender, where I've let it churn for a while. Once it's been pureed in the blender, I then am passing it through a chinois here to yield ketchup underneath. We'll check the consistency of the ketchup once it's all been strained and decide whether or not we need to reduce it a little bit further on the stove, or if we're going to go for a more exciting method of oven drying it, so it'll slowly concentrate the flavors even a little bit more, giving a little bit more caramelized flavor and concentrate to this homemade ketchup. So here we have this strained, pureed ketchup base. We are now going to add it to this pan, and we will put it in the oven for a couple hours at a low temperature, stirring it occasionally. And what's going to happen is it'll slowly reduce down. We will also allow the top to caramelize just a little bit in the oven and blend that in. And that'll concentrate and marry the flavors. Now we've got the ketchup base. It's going to go in the oven for a couple hours, reducing and concentrating the flavors. We've cooked the ketchup in the oven. Now we're going to pull it out. We've cooked it for about 3 hours, just slowly letting it cook down. We've stirred it occasionally. You can see it's developed a little bit of a dry bit on top. You stir that in, and we've got a wonderful, rich, decadent ketchup base. And we will cool that down and then strain it one more time to make sure there's no extra thick particles in it. And the result is homemade ketchup. Delicious.